What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Power Play with CJ. I want to focus in on the Colorado Avalanche possibly moving Matt Duchene. I don't think this is going to happen. I mean, it's one of those things where you're going to gauge interest in a player, and I think you look at what Joe Sakic's doing in Colorado. It's like, all right, how do we get this team to be better? I don't think moving Duchene necessarily does that. Quite the contrary, given the fact that he's actually playing pretty well as of late. And, they've won back-to-back games. They don't look as bad as they did, last week, which I know is saying a lot. When you set the bar really low, you never know. But, again, I just look at a guy like Duchene, and, he's still only, 24 years old, good offensive skill set, really been a big part of what success the team has had in recent years. Obviously been there through a lot of bad times as well, but at any rate, you look at what he's meant to the team since being drafted third overall in 2009 behind was it Tavares and Victor Hedman. Going a step further, now it's like, all right, everyone's expendable except McKinnon was pretty much the thing, and that's just you got to expect that. Nathan McKinnon's, a 20-year-old star and, rookie of the year, all that stuff. So, Duchene all of a sudden becomes in play, and you look at what he's done this year. He's played really well as of late, 11 points in 16 games, but I think the last 7 or 8 games have really been, really good. And, I think he's the legit number one center. He's had, 2 seasons where he's been right around a point a game. And it's like, all right, what can we get back for him if we do look to move him? According to a couple of the accounts out there, the Darren Dreger was talking about Ottawa being in the mix for him. I guess, according to Sean Simpson, the Avs would want Mika Zibanejad and prospect Thomas Chabot. It's one of those things. I guess Philly and Toronto have also kicked the tires. Toronto kind of makes sense because they need young, exciting players. They've missed out on a lot of guys, via free agency trades and all that over the last couple of years. So, they can get that deal done. My thing here from Colorado is I'm not moving them this season, regardless of how bad it gets. Here's why. There's going to be 2 teams that are going big after Stamkos. His own team, Tampa Bay Lightning, and Toronto, when free agency opens in July. One of those teams is not going to get him. You can't split Steven Stamkos down the middle, unfortunately. Sorry. So, you're going to have one of those 2 teams begging for a number 1 center. Now, do I think Yzerman makes a deal for Duchene? You never know. So, I think if Stamkos were to leave Tampa, the Lightning could be a fit for Duchene. Likewise, if Toronto does miss out on Stamkos, they could definitely, kick the tires and try to get a deal done with Colorado for Duchene. God knows if I draft picks there to just swing a deal. So, again, one of those situations to keep an eye on. I don't see him moving this season, though. Anyway, that's all I got. Episode of the Power Play with CJ. Stay tuned for more episodes for the season and beyond. Later.